Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brock Page, and if you want to save yourself some time, check out my picks for this video in the description section below. Once again, I'm not a sports betting expert, just a fan. I went an even 500 with my picks for the conference championship round. That said, let's get into some picks for Super Bowl 51. Against the points, the betting opened up with New England as the 3-point favorites. On the total points, the betting opened up at 58.5. And when it comes to the money line cash, the Patriots opened up laying 155 betting units. Although it's still early in the betting, currently 56% of the money's on the New England Patriots to win against the spread. On a side note, this game's taking place on Sunday, February 5th with a 6:30 kickoff at NRG Stadium. The venue is located in Houston, serves as the home to the Texans, and is inside a dome, so weather won't be a factor. Like I stated before, it's still early in the betting, therefore there's been minimal line movement. We're still looking at the Atlanta Falcons +3. The total points are at 58.5, and when it comes to the money line cash, New England's now laying 160. Speaking of New England, let's break down this season's performance against the spread. Overall, the Patriots have gone an impressive 15-3 in all games against the spread. That's an .830 win percentage in all games. They've done a remarkable job all season long in the outright game. They've also put up math-defying numbers against the spread in multiple categories. Away from Foxborough, New England 7-1 against the spread. They performed on a high level against the points, whether they were home or away. Going into games as the favorite, New England's posted a 14-3 record against the spread. No factors in this game are all that relatable to this figure, but it is a very interesting stat regardless. Now, as the official home favorites, New England has covered 86% of their games. Now, here's an astounding number for you. New England has covered an extraordinary 89% of their games against teams winning more than 55%. They beat up on those bad teams with incredibly high point spreads, and they dominate the good teams while covering in the process. One final number for you. When New England plays teams giving up 21 to 25 a game, they've covered a solid 60% of the time. Along with successfully covering the spread in 7 straight games, New England has marquee covers over the likes of Pittsburgh twice, Houston twice, Miami twice, and many, many more. Utter domination. That said, it's not all over but the shouting here, New England fans, because this Atlanta Falcons team is downright scary. And when it comes to the points, these guys have amassed themselves a good bit of covers as well. Overall, Atlanta's gone 12-6 against the spread in all games. Along with covering a solid 67% in all games, the Atlanta Falcons are 88% against the spread away from the Georgia Dome. Their 7-1 mark against the spread away from home actually matches that record of the New England Patriots. No advantage there. And while New England's 82% against the points as the favorite, Atlanta covers a staggering 83% as the underdog or pick'em. Crazy to think, as good as they've been this year, there's been 6 games where the Falcons have actually gone into the contest as the official underdog. The one thing we do know is that when Atlanta plays, an abundance of points are scored, and when that line is around 58.5 total points, the Atlanta Falcons have covered 80% of those projected high-scoring affairs. Moving forward, I went on record and said that New England beat up on those bad teams with incredibly high point spreads, and they dominate the good teams while covering in the process. That statement is no exception when it comes to Atlanta as well. Against teams winning more than 55% of their games, Atlanta is covering a notable 71% in those contests. And when facing stifling defenses allowing less than 21 a game, Atlanta's posted a record of 4-3 against the spread. Along with winning their last 6 straight and successfully covering in 5 of those wins, Atlanta has garnered themselves some marquee covers this season over the likes of Green Bay, Oakland, and Seattle twice. But what is most important is this marquee head-to-head matchup with New England, which will be the first time these teams will meet this season. With all the stats and the numbers against the spread in the books, I'm just going to go ahead and break down the total points for you real quick. And with these two organizations, there's been a lot of them. Let's start with New England. With all the points they've scored this season, it's kind of hard to believe that they've only gone over the total points in just 8 out of 18 qualifying games. You can credit that to that stifling defense, giving up an average of just 10 points a game in their last 5 contests. You better believe, though, that the New England defense hasn't faced anything like Matty Ice and the boys. Atlanta's scored over 28 points a game in their last 8. They also scored 80 total points in their 2 playoff games. In addition to that, their games have gone over the line in their last 8 consecutive games. Out of 18 qualifying games, Atlanta's games have gone under the line just twice. All that said, I can't in good conscience see a team as sound as New England allowing this game to get into a college-style shootout. Without further ado, let's pick a winner. When it comes to New England, it's needless to say that their experience in this situation is unprecedented. Belichick and Brady have done this over and over again, and this is Belichick's 10th Super Bowl appearance as a coordinator and head coach. But this is indeed an unprecedented situation, and I don't think New England has faced anything like this Atlanta team. Atlanta's been fun to watch and have put up some unparalleled numbers. Accolades and pleasantries aside, their bad losses concern me, and they prove that they can indeed put together a game that's seemingly human. Their playoff wins against an overrated Seattle team in a patchwork Green Bay just don't have me convinced yet. Although Atlanta's riding high and very confident, I have to go with the numbers and take the New England Patriots -3 against the spread for Super Bowl 51. I'm predicting a final score of 31-27 New England. That will put us at New England -3, the under 58.5, and New England laying 160 for some money line cash. On a side note, I couldn't be happier for the success of Matt Ryan. I grew up with the guy and played Pee Wee football with him in Downingtown as a kid. Matt's been a leader his entire life. When we were 10 years old, our team was playing in the league championship down at Springfield High School. And I remember for some reason, one of the kids on our team actually managed to forget his jersey to the game, forgot to bring his uniform. And one of the spare jerseys that the coaches brought in case of emergencies just didn't fit the kid. It was too small on him. So here we are in the championship game, and this poor kid, he doesn't have a uniform to wear, and essentially he can't play. And without hesitation, no one prompted him to do it, none of the coaches asked him to do it, a 10-year-old Matty Ice let this kid wear his jersey for the game so he could play, and Matt wore the much smaller jersey, the emergency jersey, which had a different number on it than the number he wore all year round. And I remember seeing Matt score a touchdown on a long pass that day. And even at a young age, you knew something was special about this kid. I played center. So you'd think that Matty was my quarterback, but believe it or not, Matt played tight end, not quarterback as a kid. That's how selfless he was. He was a team player. His whole life, this guy's shown great character ever since he was a kid. Comes from a great family. So even though I'm picking New England because of the numbers are telling me to do so, I wish the best of luck to an old friend, Matt Ryan. I'm super excited to see him excel and doing well. And I would be more than happy to see him get that ring. And I'm certainly pulling for him. Well, folks, that is going to do it for me. Once again, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. If for some reason you decide to use the information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Predictions and Sports Picks, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.